Oh. Want everyone please rise and join me in the pledge of allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thanks everyone for joining. Couple quick housekeeping topics as always. As you heard, we are being recorded. If there are any personal conversations to be had, those need to be taken outside of council chambers. You'll be given 2 opportunities to speak, and we'll ask for you to come up to the podium and state your name for the record. That will be your time to put in your comments. So we will go ahead and jump right in. We do have a quorum. Everybody is here today. I will go ahead and call for any additional business items. No other business items? All right, then I would entertain a motion for approval of the consent agenda.
A motion, we approve the consent agenda.
Been moved by Jamie and seconded by Kathy. Is there any discussion? Right, I will go ahead and call for the vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Right, motion carries. So we'll go ahead and jump into department reports, which I see PD is not here. I was gonna say did Chief send his report? I saw it.
Total of 27 calls. For the month. You guys want me to go down each one? I don't think we need to. I know he
Any
does,
major
but
ones? I'll say I feel like they were pretty busy in Winlock this last month.
bunch of animals, attempt to contact. Yeah, nothing crazy.
Okay.
So it brings 260 calls to date for the year.
Does anybody have any questions to pass on to PD?
I know that we're covering the safe streets tonight. And I was wondering if we could get feedback from them when they're doing their job.
Okay.
Maybe things that we need to look at.
Suggestions? I can do that.
Okay. All right, we'll move down to City Hall.
Civic Plus, I talked to them this week. They're wrapping everything up. I spent some time talking to Marissa. I'll be bringing a couple things to council next meeting, so that way we can finish what we're doing. We hired a new girl for the office. She's working part-time. Carly's part-time now too, so that's really just training and catching up on emails. Holiday weekend.
Any questions for City Hall?
Do we still have Sarah?
We still have Sarah, yeah.
Okay. So who's the new girl?
Her name's Tiffany. She lives in Castle Rock. She's worked for DSHS before, so she's really familiar with the RCWs.
And she loves RCW.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
she's
she likes
like I'm a nerd
research.
for those.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So she started
numbers?
she started last week, and she's been training just strictly under Sarah. So she's learning all the water sewer stuff and complaints, and
She's a temp.
she's here, well, our other employees on leave, yeah.
All right, so we will jump into Public Works.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jay Crow, the Public Works Assistant. All of our daily procedures and testing have been performed without any major issues. If you all remember, the generator at the wastewater treatment plant was down last time I was up here. That was with a coolant issue. Since then, the radiator has been rebuilt. And it's awaiting reinstallation by a technician. And then at which point he'll also go through all the services required on all 3 of our major generators. We're just waiting on scheduling, really. And the various electrical concerns that I brought to your attention last time I was up here have in some ways resolved themselves, is what I wrote down, but we spoke with the electrician who's working on our blower systems and everything, and he kind of indicated, which supports some of John's prior theories, that some of the power we get from PUD, since it's kind of the end of the line, can create some electrical issues, especially when there's like high usage, such as a hot day, which is what we noticed. The super hot days is when we were having most of our issues, because we were having our sludge transfer pump as well as like our mixer motor. They would throw like overcurrent errors and then need to be reset. We're still kind of looking into solutions to that more long term, but in the meantime, we haven't had any problems for a couple of weeks.
If that happens again, you could try switching to generator and see if it alleviates it immediately, and that'd be an idea.
Right. That's a good idea. And we do still have Ace coming out, the electricians coming out to look at our blowers still, because that's a completely separate issue. Probably a VFD drive went out or something. Again, waiting scheduling. Inventory update. This is going to be our primary task over the coming weeks. We've moved on from hydrants. We have completed all of those and submitted a report into the fire station. We're still reviewing numbers, and to my understanding, will get back to us. But everything looked good. Kind of what we expected anyway. And as for inventory, we have 100 total pieces of general equipment in our iWorks program, and then 60 pieces of general inventory items have been added with varying quantities. And just to explain that a little bit, there's 2 tabs on our software equipment, which is more of the larger stuff like our generators and our trucks, and just really anything bigger than a weed eater kind of is the way we're doing it. And then the inventory side of it is going to be the smaller items like our hand tools and shovels and such. So that's why those 100 pieces of general equipment are each individual things that we added, and then we added 60 different general items that have varying quantities. So shovel would be one of the items I counted, and then we may have 5 or 6 of them.
So what about like expendables or whatever the consumables like setters or
Yeah.
things like that?
Those are also going in the general inventory where we
Right.
can keep a running count of quantities. And then also, which is a whole separate thing, we have a whole separate tab for our wastewater treatment plant. It works really cool because we can break down the different areas of the treatment process. And 85 items have been inputted from there. We still have a ways to go, but in many ways we've come a long way. So hopefully in our next report, there is some more numbers, and I can give you guys a clear idea on, well, we should be done actually in September. That was our deadline. And last time we mentioned inventory tags. I just got a message from Jamie earlier today, and I hope to give you guys an update on that from next weekend. So for our water consumption, if you guys remember, we've been having some weird issues where we are producing more water than we are billing for, which is called water loss. It's kind of inevitable, just like I&I on the wastewater side. You do get a little bit of water loss just from really a number of things, leaky pipes, or meters under reading, but we have new meters. So we have been kind of doing various things with public works staff as well as city hall staff to kind of pinpoint that issue. As public works, we have done some leak detection with Evergreen Rural Water. They came out with pretty much a listening device that they can hear for leaks in the ground. We haven't done the whole system yet, but he's going to come back out when he's next available with his equipment. We have a couple I'll call prospect areas. We're not sure. There's some noise, but it could be interference or a number of things that we're going to investigate in weeks if it's a leak or not. And then we also performed a manual read cycle rather than our radio reads to see if that is producing any issues in as far as consumption goes. Other than that, we installed the xylophone in the park that was donated by the city of Chehalis Parks and Rec Department. So that was a couple months ago they donated it. but
Last
we-
year. Oh, what it is, Dave.
Yeah, it was last year.
It's nice.
It
Yeah,
is. It looks really
Last
nice.
year, a few months.
Yeah.
15, 19, whatever.
It's in now.
Ballpark.
And we performed necessary paperwork in labs to get our biosolids hauled off this year. We're waiting on lab results from ALS, and then we should be good to go in the next coming weeks. We have began some preliminary budget work with Rachel, mostly looking over what expenses are to be expected next year. Just kind of getting the ball rolling. And I also passed my wastewater one exam and water distribution one exam.
Congratulations.
So what that means is last year I applied for the OIT for both, which is operator and training. So I should get those certifications since I passed the test. Being as I waited so long, as soon as I get those certifications, I can turn around and apply to class 1 upgrade. So I'll be a class 1 water and wastewater operator. Hopefully by the end of the year, but that's all really just dependent on turnaround time
Yeah.
from Department of Health and Ecology.
Yeah, you're on their
I've
schedule.
Done the legwork so far, so. That's all I have for you. Any questions?
So does the amount of water loss pay for the detecting of possible leaks?
Actually, Evergreen Rural Water is a free service for rural communities, is what it is, it's
Nice.
free to us anyway, it's a state. State.
And it's the water loss gets in the way of our water rights.
And grants, and it's a large amount of water. It's a very large amount of water, yeah.
Yeah, the Department of Health likes to see 10% and we're at 30%, and we don't know if that's because of my. Opinion is it's probably a mixture of things.
Right.
From software as well as some meters still need to be changed out, the larger ones, and possibly some.
So that 30% equals what per month?
2 million gallons of billing cycle.
Just so you know.
A lot of water.
So is it in the works to replace the bigger meters that,
Yeah.
Oh, yes, yeah, we're getting quotes, so.
is that money involved?
Yeah.
I take it.
And that's part of some stuff we're looking into for budget next year, budgeting for water meters. Because we did budget some money for water meters, but a lot of that's been used up because of the new connections that we've had.
Thank you.
Do we detect sewer leaks?
So there's a couple ways you can detect sewer leaks. One of them that we would like to look into over the coming years, which you guys may have heard about, is TVing the system, getting an agency to come out here and camera all of our sewer pipes, which can tell us accurate readings on where service lines are, as well as any breaks in pipe and whatnot. Last time that was done was 1995, but it is an expensive service, so. The other thing you can do is a fog machine, pretty much just putting something in a manhole that produces fog. And then you can kind of see where smoke comes up, breaks and pipes and whatnot. Sewer pipe, just at the joints can leak over time. And you see that in influent infiltration, which is basically just means rainwater getting into the ground and then into your sewer system, which is where you see us treating 300,000-400,000 gallons of wastewater in the winter time versus our 30,000 in the summertime. So
Yeah, we go up to about 95% capacity in the winter. But it's mostly clean water coming in ish.
yeah,
I do want to say thank you so much for your guys' work on getting the inventory rolling. I know I gave you guys a deadline and you guys are getting right on it, which is kind of nice. And congratulations.
thank you.
The certification work
Yeah.
is great.
Can I add, since that is consideration for sewer, that some kind of item gets put in the budget?
Yeah,
For a future
we can
plan.
definitely, yeah, that's something that I was gonna bring to budget this year that needs to be done, so. Anybody else have anything? All right, thank you, Mary.
I was gonna ask, because of just the agenda, if I could be excused from the meeting.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Jay.
Thanks. All right, so we'll go ahead and jump down to council reports. So we do have the public hearing coming up on September 7th here at City Hall at 6 p.m. So we definitely encourage everybody to be here for that. And that'll be for the comp plan update.
And those green sheets over there have all the info on it.
Other than that, I don't have anything else to report, so we will go ahead and jump down to 20. All right, Eric?
So I did a little spreadsheeting, helping Rachel get ready for budget season. That's about it.
Nothing to report?
Nothing?
I'm present.
All right, so we will jump down to the committee reports, which I'm sure everybody saw that their meeting minutes are in from their meetings for both the park board and planning. I do believe we have another open seat on park board that we will be looking to fill. So if anybody is interested or knows anybody who's interested, please have them reach out to City Hall. So we'll go ahead and move
Park
on.
Board has an event coming up
Yep, the walk in the park.
Saturday.
Yep.
At-
And then the quilts.
No, that's
That's the vintage quilt.
Oh. Where? That was the one that was in the back.
That's the one that used to hang on the
Okay, I
wall
was like,
behind
what's
here.
this one? Familiar.
Yeah.
Squares.
yeah, I don't want to hang it on the wall.
So on the needing a park person, I had a couple ideas. One is, can we put an ad? That, because this isn't at large, right? This is not,
For what, the park position?
yeah,
The park board position.
I think it could be a business owner or a resident. Or someone from the 360. There you go.
right. So can we put an ad? And another idea I had was maybe the park board members could canvass those areas that are
Within that.
because the description is right in, I don't know where I read it, but the description for the position is right in, you already have the text for it. So, I think City Hall could print out some flyers for them and they could go canvass it and
If they find anything.
make some interests.
Absolutely. All right, so moving right on, no public hearing tonight, no special presentation. Is there any public comment on our agenda items? All right, so we'll go ahead and jump right in. First order of business is ordinance number 828, an ordinance establishing safe streets and roads guidelines for the city of Toledo, Washington. Would entertain a motion.
I'll move that we accept ordinance 828.
I'll second it.
It's moved by Rebecca and seconded by Jamie. I'll open it up for discussion. Not everybody at once.
I had something, but I have to get there.
So we need this for grants too. This is what Joe brought up several months ago, 8 months ago, something like that. It's called either Complete Streets or Safe Streets. The TIB grant that I just put in for Augustus, we did have one of the documents or the ordinances, it was a resolution, I forget what it was, but the other one that they wanted was the Complete Streets. It doesn't disqualify us to not have it, but we do lose points. So it's gonna be like that for any TIB project. So it's really important that we have something.
Would this be a vehicle that can help us get rid of the double stop sign on Third? Because I think that's a safety issue. If I walked past there, because everybody runs it, so that means if and that they're running the crosswalk, so if I were a pedestrian, then I can't, I'd rather there be a yield. Instead of that first stop sign, that yield the pedestrian, yeah, so.
Yeah, yes, it could, just to make everything consistent. And that, I mean, that's what
Right.
the TIB wants to see, is that we're taking care of our streets, that they're safe, consistency.
Okay, and again, to make people aware of this and getting the police informing us of issues and putting on our website for the citizens, if you see something that you feel needs addressing, please let us know.
So I do have those QR codes all over the city, where people can go and scan them and they can put you need toilet paper, or your street sign sucks, or I don't like the stop sign, or whatever they want to put in there. Yeah, they're all over the park. Yeah. They're up here. So, and I have posted on Facebook that QR code a couple times, I believe, right? And so I can always keep posting it, but those requests come directly to me, and then I can funnel them where they need to go. You can even put in a public records request their own. So those are pretty big. And I do believe we posted our park post on Facebook as well, but that might have been for the last position, so I can do it again. But that's really, we do it on our website. We post them out here. But I can do them on Facebook as well.
Okay, and speaking of park host, has our new one been advised that he needs to show up at city council?
He has been, yeah, he's shown up. This is the first one that they missed. I did talk to him today. They weren't able to make it due to a prior engagement. He's doing really well. They check in with me 2 to 3 times a week. He's turning in his reports. As far as I know, the park's been going great. And I work really close with PD too. If there's an issue, we had an issue with people parking in front of the school during drop off last year, and the curbs weren't painted yellow, so they weren't able to give tickets for people stopping. So Valentine, I usually hear from him at least once a week, sometimes more, and they'll let us know what's going on with the streets and what they need. So I'll just keep making note of that, and then I'll give them a copy of our ordinance just so that they can put notes on it.
All right, if there is no other, I will go ahead and call for the vote. All those in favor?
Right?
Opposed? Motion carries. Move on to our next order of new business, which is the water sewer loan for McEwen. I would entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that we accept the water sewer loan for McEwen.
I'll second it.
Moved by Rebecca and seconded by Jamie. I'll go ahead and open it up for discussion.
Did we say that there was gonna be a condition, like if it's nothing fancy, that you didn't need to come to council for this, or I guess it's not a problem yet, or? not?
It was in the procedures in the ordinance that they did need to come to council, so.
I don't mind it. but-
Yeah, I mean, it's a large amount of money. I don't mind it either. I just make sure they have it in ahead of time. Once you guys have approved it, then I can and I'm already doing everything on the back end to make sure that they qualify.
And we won't see these with builders, so it's not like you're gonna see.
Nope.
50 of them show up.
And I can always just put them in as informational, but I think there shouldn't be a lot of them, I don't think, coming in.
Also, I think periodically we should probably have a list of loans out there.
This is what the council.
Or at least a balance on what's outstanding.
I can do those with budget. I can get you guys or quarterly, I can do. The loans take a long time to pay off. You guys have them set at a 10-year payment. So I mean, they're paying off 10 grand, $94 a month. So we get the interest on it, so.
It might be worth to at least, like you said, during budget
Yeah, I
time,
can
have
I can do quarterly reports for it.
Okay.
It's a good idea.
Anybody else got anything before I call for the vote? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. So we'll jump on down. No unfinished business. We have no other business, so we will go into the public input.
Hello, Kyle Willett. We had an issue outside of council, and I just wanted to thank you for dealing with it and hopefully we'll move on.
Yes, indeed.
You mentioned flyers for recruiting for the park board. Make sure they have them Saturday at the walk in the park. Just, hey, do you want to help with these events in the future? Join the vote.
Perfect, thank you.
And then lastly, I don't know if you guys can tell the park host that he has to attend council, because when you start giving him specific times that he has to be.
That is an
there,
employee,
that
yeah. Yeah, we've suggested that he comes, but again, it's not required.
Perfect.
They're usually pretty good though.
And it's just one of these.
Yeah.
We would really, really like it if you were here.
Yeah.
So.
And if anybody hasn't had the chance to meet him, go by the park. He is all kinds of fun to sit and chat with too, but I know he's been out there hustling.
I didn't realize she was Spencer's mom either.
Yeah,
Anybody else? All right, so we'll jump on down. No executive session this evening, so I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion we adjourn.
Second it.
Moved by Eric and seconded by Jamie. All those in favor?
Bye.
Opposed? All right, meeting adjourned.